accurate weather team, we can give you that trust, helping you stay safe.
You earn someone's trust by showing up every day for them.
Why does it matter in a forecast? Trust isn't everything, it's the only thing.
Consistency with, the accuracy in your forecast.
You're planning your day around it. You're planning your life around the weather forecast. Every storm.
Every forecast.
We are earning your trust.
Rely on the team working every day to earn your trust. First Coast News, on your side.
Hi, folks. I'm meteorologist Lewis Turner, working here at First Coast News. We're on your side. Been here since 2010, forecasting the weather for Southeast Georgia, for the First Coast and Northeast Florida. And it is a blessing and a treat to get to do it and work here with the First Coast News Weather Channel, which is powered by First Coast's most accurate weather team.
Is making sure you are prepared to start your day.
I grew up watching First Coast News. I grew up watching Tim Deegan.
Meteorology is not only my job, it's my hobby.
I love being a meteorologist. I love being a part of your day.
When it comes to a forecast, trust isn't just one thing. Trust is the only thing that matters.
The First Coast's most accurate weather team, sponsored by AC Designs.
I'm meteorologist Robert Spetta, First Coast News on your side. I've been working in meteorology for almost 20 years now, working with the Navy, even at Naval Station Mayport, as well as overseas, inside and covering typhoons, some of the biggest storms on Earth, and taking all that knowledge back here to the First Coast and in the Jacksonville, and help tracking our hurricanes and severe weather in our neighborhood, knowing how they impact not only our local community, but the military as well. And number one thing, of course, is being on your side, keeping you safe with your most accurate forecast. So make sure you download that First Coast News app, and also you
Welcome back in, folks. Hopefully we have fixed our
It looks good.
technological difficulties. It looks a little bit better.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can hear us clearly as well. Maybe the wires are all just frozen up a little bit.
That's what it is. It's cold, and I don't blame it.
That current's not so quick.
Exactly. And I get it. But to a point we were making, and maybe, we'll kind of back up just a little bit. We'll start with the temperatures that you're looking at. These are your morning lows for Friday morning. Coldest air that we're going to have in place for a couple of years as far as our actual low temperatures. It'll be, the third time this winter that we'll hit the 20s, because we've hit a 28, and back in December we hit a 29 on the 1st of January, on the first of the new year, and then getting to 25, maybe 24 even. It just depends just how light those winds get. But anywhere that has like bus stop forecast, goodness, send the kids.
Yeah.
With every layer you got, it is going to be frigid. In fact, we talk about when we get thunderstorms, at drop off or generally pick up from school, or if they're walkers, bikers, generally, I'll kind of say, mamas, daddies, it's time to change the routine. And hence the weather impact alert. It might be time, if they're typically the kind of kids that are going to walk to the bus stop or bike all the way into school, this might be the time you got to kind of suck it up, leave a little bit early, and take them and just drop them off at the door. It just might be a little too cold for them this morning. Otherwise, or in Friday morning. So otherwise, just make sure they've got hats. You're going to need to cover their ears. A little scarf's not a bad idea. Some chapstick.
Maybe like a travel pack of tissues.
Yeah.
Because your nose will start running with that cold air.
Immediately. Yeah. To throw that in the backpack. And if your fourth grader isn't drinking coffee yet, it's time to start them on it.
Jeez.
Get them on that hot black coffee right now.
Oh my gosh. Why don't we just start with maybe some hot chocolate?
Maybe hot.
Give them a sugar rush rather than an
a caffeine high?
Yeah, oh my God.
Those teachers at homeroom will love it.
Yeah.
But also actionable items as far as dripping pipes. I was kind of trying to get to that point earlier.
You want me to go back here?
Well, with the temperatures, when we're seeing that number 27 is kind of your magic number, getting to 27 and below when you spend in several hours below that, getting the hard freeze. That's where we need to think about dripping pipes or faucets for your pipes, emptying out the garden hoses, running those pool pumps on the winter hours, meaning overnight. You're probably already doing that anyway. But yeah, a little stream of water about pencil thin for plumbing that if you've got exposed pipes or things that aren't well insulated. It's getting to that point. Waycross, Folkestone, Brunswick, even west side of Jacksonville, McClenny, Lake City, Keystone. Let's think about it.
Yeah, also pets, right? Now you want to protect the pets naturally. Try and give them a warm spot to go, but make sure they have fresh water that isn't completely frozen in a bowl or something like that.
Yep.
So that they're kept at least out of the elements a little bit and still have some unfrozen fresh water out there.
For sure. And what's interesting? So back, this has been years ago, a previous cold snap we had in Jacksonville. I was interested in like farm animals and what farmers do to protect. So I called like a dairy farmer here locally, and I was like, so what about cold weather with your cows? Do you give them a barrel fire to huddle up next to, or do you put them in the barn? Like, I truly had no idea. And maybe this is just one farmer, but he said actually the cows love it, and I love it because in the colder weather, the cows will produce more milk.
Oh, okay.
So you get a higher production, a higher yield.
Yeah.
For the dairy farmers. There's not too many dairy farmers around here, but anyway, I had learned something there, a posture of learning, which is the theme of our day. Going through our day tomorrow, not much of a warm up, obviously much, much better than being in those low mid 20s by the afternoon. So 55 will, feel better, but it's still chilly and we're still in the grip of a cold day.
Yeah. I mean, the cold's sticking around here. A little bit of a change on Saturday. I think you're going to need to try and make the most of your Saturday kind of late morning and early afternoon. The morning Saturday will be cold still. We'll watch for inland freezes, especially there. We got a low of 33 for the Jacksonville area. But by the afternoon, Lou, we're going to be back into the mid to upper 60s for many of us. We will watch, though, for, a few stray showers later on in the day.
Yeah. So this is kind of what we have been really hyped. This event coming into Saturday night into Sunday, we get teased. All right, so we get teased in a couple different ways. The first way is hitting near 70 degrees Saturday afternoon. We're going to be like, oh my gosh, the warm weather's back.
Break the shorts out.
Break the shorts out. The cold is over. And don't get tricked. This is not like previous cold snaps where we get cold and then we're back up to near 80 degrees. Not the case. The second form of tease is what our models have been doing, what many meteorologists that you've probably seen online have been sharing, rightfully so. I'm not hating on them. This is good information. It's information about your safety, about your preparations, about your commutes, what you're doing Sunday morning. So you got to talk about the elephant in the room when you've got the wintry precip signals on your modeling.
Mm-hmm.
So with your GFS model, your American Mud model, what are we seeing there, Ross? What's your takeaway when you see it? Because I've been talking until I'm blue in the face about this kind of stuff.
Well, I think there's going to be a significant amount of mid to upper air that is quite cold and below freezing. The issue will really be temperatures closer to the surface will still be rather mild and or warmer, simply because, temperatures on Saturday afternoon going to be, as Lew mentioned, upper 60s, close to 70. So it'll be hard to erode those warm temperatures quickly enough to actually get wintry precipitation, either in the form of a sleet or a wintry mix of rain and snow, or simply just snow, to actually fall. So I think kind of the GFS and European are both sort of showing the same thing for the most part.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing in sleet. Certainly no. So you hear the term sleet, freezing rain, snow when we.
This doesn't look to be a sleet or freezing rain setup. Yeah, not like that.
Because as Ross said, we're going to be almost 70 the day before, and then. Yeah, at the surface, even at its coldest, we're not even going for a freeze, not even close to really a freeze for our low temperature forecast Sunday morning.
Yeah.
So we know the surface is going to be too warm. But what happens, like Ross mentioned, the upper, the middle levels, a pretty deep column of air that is going to be very, very cold. And so will the snow, as it will be falling at the upper levels, that's just how it works. Ultimately, when it gets closer to the surface, is it going to just fall apart into a really, really cold rain, and will rain win the day? Or will we see a flake or two actually make it all the way down before melting immediately?
Yeah.
But this is a different look. This is what is anticipated accumulation. I think, again, this is modeling. We don't, accumulation is darn near impossible, but that little sliver of Ware County you see there with, maybe a tenth of some sort of wintry precip, that melting snow hitting the ground. We're talking potential on hoods of cars, if anything. You might see one or two flakes that survive. And then
like an elevated surface or something like that.
Yeah, picnic table, whatever. The porch furniture, stuff like that. But anyway, that's just one modeling. Now, this is the in-house model, and this takes into account initialization from a bunch of different things, including the Euro and the GFS. And it considers that, and it runs a good deal. It's obviously higher resolution, so you can't run it as far out. But when we get closer to time, within that 60-hour-ish time frame, you can start to get some good ideas. And it's triggering too. It's kind of signaling that wintry, that flake or two for a very small sliver for Ware, Pierce, Brantley counties. And even further south, which might be overdoing that. That seems really unlikely and tough, but nonetheless can't ignore it. So
yeah, this is a little bit of a closer, more zoomed in look there.
Yeah. So, Waycross might be an interesting development that Sunday morning, 8, 9 o'clock, right around dawn, and then a little after. But another key takeaway here is, and why we have a weather impact alert for Sunday morning, though it is not because we think it's going to be a widespread winter weather event. We think we're going to have a pretty good deal of rain overspreading what will be a cold rain event for 99% of us.
Yes.
And
the chances of you seeing a snowflake are very, very low.
Right, like that less than 10% chance, right?
Yeah.
But it's not zero. But it's like when we say there's a 10% chance of rain, meaning somebody might get a quick little spritz. That's what this means. But nonetheless, we're going 60% chance of showers. We may need to bump that as we get closer, because Sunday morning, through those church hours, through brunch hours, and your outdoor activities in the morning, even to about 1, 2 o'clock, we could have those showers. And it did show a little attempt at some wintry precip as far as Duval. That might be overdoing it, and we haven't seen that indicated on any other modeling.
Yeah, and in contrast to how sometimes these systems look further to the north, the drier air here impacts it, I think, a lot more than it does to the north, just with the column of air and the moisture content in there. So that was a quick cutoff of moisture, and I think there's going to be a very, very narrow line and time frame kind of even being able to see a wet snowflake.
Yeah.
But again, we do want to reiterate no accumulations
Right.
expected for any of us here.
Yeah.
Now, maybe further to the north, maybe up towards like Tifton, Georgia, maybe you get a real light coating on the grass or something like that. But, here on the First Coast, not really expecting that.
Yeah, and this isn't necessarily a black ice scenario. This isn't a
Correct.
A frozen bridge scenario because our low temperatures for Sunday morning won't get to that freeze point. You know what I mean? So not overly concerned about that, but wet roads nonetheless, which dangerous enough. So Sunday morning kind of we watch AM showers, damp, chilly through the day, 51 degrees. And this is part of our other story, which is the parade of fronts that we've had that have kept us so cool over the 7-day period and throughout the next 5 to 7 days.
We've been doing a lot of this.
Yeah.
Little worm action here.
Yeah.
Just kind of up and down with temperatures and these fronts swinging their way through.
Yep. And so pretty consistent. We don't have much relief on the way because by Sunday night and into Monday morning, yet again, we've got now it'll be drying out really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't worry about wintry precip for Monday morning, but we're going to get back down to the 20s as we wake up, Monday morning.
Yeah.
So Sunday, another kind of chilly, rough kind of day.
Yeah. And before we go, I am going to show the 7-day quick.
Yeah.
But just as maybe a little tease ahead to tomorrow.
Yes.
Since you won't be here next Monday. Tomorrow, we're doing our college football playoff pick'ems.
What in the name of?
And of course,
I'm 2-4.
Yeah, man, you're terrible. You only got Houston and
And the Rams?
And the Rams. Yeah,
I picked the Jags.
You picked the Jags. That was incorrect. You picked
and I picked
Green
the
Bay.
Eagles.
You picked the Eagles. Yeah, those are all wrong.
And I picked
you also
Green
picked
Bay.
LA.
That's right. I picked the Chargers to be
the
Patriots. What an idiot I am.
You said it, not me.
What was I thinking?
Hey,
I got the emotions got the better of me. I was thinking the Jags are going to win, and then they're going to get to host a second game. Again, picking with my heart, not my head. But that's not what I'm doing with the forecasting. I'm staying with my head. If we were picking with my heart, I was going to